There are roads, and then there are roads carved into the side of a mountain with a sheer drop to the sea on one side and a wall of rock on the other. That's Cap Corse. It's a loop around the northern finger of Corsica that tests your nerve while rewarding you with some of the most amazing coastal views in the Med. I started my journey from Ile Russe, heading for the town that acts as a gateway to Cap Corse from the west, Saint-Florent. It's known as Corsica's little Saint-Tropez, and with a marina full of smart-looking yachts, you can see why they make that comparison.
Coffee got fueled. I'm going to try to get a walk around and have a look at this cute little town. What's this place called again?
Saint-Florent.
Saint-Florent. Saint-Florent. Saint-Florent. Do they pronounce the T's? Saint-Florent, 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 Saint-Florent. It's one of those. It's a nice little town. I've Von Dutch again. Honestly, I thought that brand had died. I think it should have died. It's a very pretty little town.
Looming over it all is this massive 15th century citadel. It's a reminder of who used to run this island, the Genoese, the Italian maritime republic that controlled Corsica for centuries and built fortresses like this all along its coast.
So I found the big round castle. Although I'm more interested in these dogs. Now look at the size of this car. And he was trying to get me to drive down tiny little alleyways. Look at the size of it. That's like a bus.
Before you can get going on the Cap Loop properly, you've got to get to the island's main commercial port, Bastia. The route from Saint-Florent takes you up and over the mountains on the D81 to the Col de Teghime.
Is any of this in English? No.
It's a bit of a climb, but the view from the viewpoint at the top is pretty cool.
It's one of the most emblematic viewpoints of the grand site of the Conca de Uro, whatever that means. It looks cool.
On a clear day, you can see the sea on both sides of the island. It's a spot with a heavy past too. It was the site of the final decisive battle that led to the liberation of Bastia in 1943, the first city to be freed by French forces. Dropping down into the city of Bastia, it's worth exploring the citadel here before starting the loop.
And we're now in Bastia. Seems like a place where a lot of people live and drive. About to get run over. Anyway, it's got an old citadel. We're going to go and check that out.
The citadel is known as Terra Nova, or the New Town. It was the original Genoese stronghold, built high above the old port.
Now, this doesn't feel that touristy. Here at 1 PM, so naturally the French will be having a break. And then at 3 o'clock they'll have another break. Well, I just think some of the stereotypes are true based on businesses' opening hours. Oh wow, look at this. Some sort of interpretive chair movement going on in here. Don't really know what they're doing. They're playing like music with a big booming voice and wave noises. And then they're getting up and moving the chairs.
Or they're testing the speakers. Trying to figure out trailer.
Callum, fuck off with your sensible suggestions. I prefer my idea that it's some sort of weird interpretive chair movement dance. Another one of the gates, I guess. So that big orange building's got its own huge fortified walls behind these massive fortified walls. Everybody's worried about pirates. So even outside of the citadel, it looks quite old. Whew. So this garden's connecting the citadel with the port. This is quite nice. So that's handy. If you're down at the port and you want to come up to the citadel, you can just take this friendly little lift. That's cool. Quite a nice little port area. Right, we're going back up. Wee wee.
It's a great place to get a feel for the city, with its narrow alleyways and incredible views back over the harbour. The official tour of the Cap Corse Peninsula can begin. I decided it was best to drive it anti-clockwise, which keeps you on the seaside of the road for the whole journey, which is much easier for pulling over. Heading north, you pass through villages like Erbalunga, a beautiful old fishing port built around a spit of rock with a ruined Genoese watchtower on the end.
Our first stop, what is probably quite an ambitious trip to start at 1:30 in the afternoon, is this little village called Erbalunga. And Callum couldn't figure out how to pay for parking, but you get 20 minutes free. So I've been allocated 20 minutes to run around here. Oh, it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah, cute little square. So according to Google, this is a typical village of Cap Corse. Ooh. Oh, that's cool, look. It's just the front of the building left. It's cute, but it's pretty small and it's quite sleepy. There are some restaurants, but no one's at them. So the next stop is here. Just beautiful bay beach of Pietra Cobra, I think. There's this little tower that's been turned into a restaurant. But the weather isn't quite nice today. The beach is lovely though. The bay's lovely. And to be honest, this little restaurant looks really nice as well.
The drive up this side feels quite relaxed. Turns out it was just a good warm-up for what's to come. The main town on this side is Macinaggio, a busy port and the main starting point for the famous coastal walking trail.
So this is the very windy town of Macinaggio, which seems to be just like an old little fishing town. Maybe they fish a lot of lobsters here, so they've got a massive lobster. You can hear the wind howling through all these sailboats. They have proper old fishing boats as well. Quite a cool place. We've got to go inland a little bit and then we'll get to the tip, the most northern tip of Corsica.
Once you're past Macinaggio, the landscape changes. It gets a bit rougher and more
I've
exposed.
stopped at this viewpoint and it's definitely windy. You can see why they've got all these wind turbines. But the sun's out, so that's a plus. like old houses or something. This looks like you're about to walk off the edge. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? Oh, that's the tip.
Yeah.
God, I think I might get blown away. A nice view though.
At the very northernmost point, you'll find the tiny harbour of Barcaggio.
So we've made it to the tip of Corsica, this tiny little fishing port called Barcaggio. Barcaggio. We think it's called Barcaggio. There's a bit of a narrow road down. It's pretty though.
You definitely feel like you're on the edge of the island here.
There's this little harbour. That's pretty much it. Pretty much the whole time. But there's this really cool island over there. And its cliffs are like blue. Well, they look blue. I don't know what type of rock that is. And apparently there's a beach here with cows on it. Which I'm guessing is over there, but I can't see any cows. What the hell? That's someone. I was debating over whether I could fly the drone here, but definitely not.
Looking out towards this island and its lonely lighthouse, which has been a vital shipping marker for centuries. Rounding the tip and starting the journey back south, you meet the full force of the western coast.
Hold on. So the view here is as incredible as the wind. The view is incredible. And I think we're going down to this little port town down there. Oh, my eyes are watering from that. Alright, back in the shelter of the car. Are you worried you were going to blow away? Oh shit. Oh, man, that was nuts.
It would have been dangerous if you were the wind was blowing the other way.
Yeah, no, it was moving me. If you stood at the end with your arms up, your big baggy t-shirt on, you would have been gone.
The difference is immediate. I pulled over near the port of Centauri, and the wind was absolutely hammering the coastline.
So we just came down where we were, up here behind me, into this little port. And whilst not quite as windy, it's still quite impressive. This little island. And a bit of spray off the water actually, it's quite nice. But look at this view over here. Nuts. The town here is Centauri. Do you know what this reminds me of? It's a bit like Cape Town. Yeah, this reminds me of like the Western Cape, or the Southern Cape, the Cape in Cape Town. The gimbal's struggling against the wind. Callum's ran off ahead. He'll just be trying to get back in the car as soon as possible. Incredible down here. That is something else, isn't it? So impressive. You know, right out to this point and kind of be surrounded by it. Absolutely beautiful.
The power in the waves crashing against the rocks was pretty cool. There's really a raw, untamed sort of energy to this side of the cap. From Centauri, the road south towards Nonza, the D80, is the section everyone talks about. It's an unbelievable piece of engineering, cut straight into the cliff face, hundreds of feet above the sea. There are very few barriers, and if you meet a bus coming the other way, you just have to hold your breath.
So this bit of the road that we're driving on now, the D80, just the road that goes all the way around the Cape, is insane. I'll zoom in. You can see the cutout of the road around that mountain. Very, very cool. It's nice and wide here. It's got these bits for you to pull in. You can see the rest of the island. We're getting back close to the main part of the island now. And you can see it spreading out over there.
Your reward for surviving the drive is the village of Nonza, which seems to defy gravity itself. Perched on a cliff, it looks down on its famous black pebble beach. The unusual colour is the result of waste material from an old asbestos mine a bit further up the coast. A strange and slightly complicated history for such a beautiful site.
This is Plage de Nonza. It's a black sand beach, right next to an old asbestos mine. So that's nice. It's got this cool tower up on this big rock. Quite a grand church for a tiny town on a rock.
The view from the Paladine Tower at the top is quite special. It gets its name from Pascal Paoli, the leader of the Corsican independence, and it's a symbol of the defiance of the island.
I mean, there's not much to it. But this tower's pretty, and the beach is pretty. Yeah, there's this massive restaurant here. I mean, what a setting for a restaurant. Not a bad view for having a drink, is it? Well, this was a cute final stop. Now we've got an hour and a half back to Il Russe. Il Russe. Lovely, yes, that's the passenger princess. Have you enjoyed your road trip, Cal?
Yeah, it's been interesting.
Good.
Terrifying at points.
Terrifying? Are you commenting on my driving?
It was just, I don't think you appreciate it. At some point, we're literally on a cliff with the tiniest little wall separating us and certain death.
It's
I
probably,
could see that quite clearly on my side, but
it's probably just as well that I didn't see that. Well, au revoir.
The road finally begins to unwind as you complete the loop back towards Saint-Florent. It gives you a chance to breathe out and let your knuckles regain their normal colour. Driving Cap Corse really is a journey of two halves. The gentle, pretty coastline of the east that eases you in, and the raw, untamed drama of the west that properly tests your nerve. It's a drive that demands your full attention, but the reward is a side of Corsica that many people never see. Raw, rugged, and absolutely unforgettable. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, then please give this video a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It really helps. Cheers, see you soon.